Welcome to GCSE Options January 26. My name's Mr. Jesson, the Senior Assistant Head Teacher for Curriculum, and in this presentation I'm going to talk to you about the options process for your child in Year 9. It's an exciting stage in their educational journey. It's their first opportunity to choose what they're going to be studying, and understanding fully the process and carefully considering what the options they're going to choose will be should make the next 2 years as enjoyable and successful as possible. Our Key Stage 4 curriculum is split into 5 main areas. We have core examined subjects in English and mathematics, and non-examined subjects of PSHE and core PE. All students will study these subjects through Year 10 and Year 11. Students get their first choice with a humanities subject and are able to opt to study either geography or history in Year 10 and Year 11. Science is another area in which our students get a choice between combined science or triple science, both of which we'll discuss in a little more detail later on in this presentation. The final area are the free choice subjects, where our students get to choose up to 3 separate subjects that they would like to study to finish their package of qualifications in Year 10 and Year 11. All of our students will study the core subjects of mathematics and English, with English separated into 2 GCSEs, English Language GCSE and English Literature GCSE. All of our students also take part in core PE and PSHE lessons, though these subjects aren't examined and students do not receive a qualification in them at the end of Year 11. The first part of the options process is for our students to choose whether they'd rather study geography or history in Year 10 and Year 11. Some of our students wish to study both, which they can do by selecting the other subject as one of their 3 free choices later in the options form. All of our students will study Science GCSE in Year 10 and Year 11, but they do have a choice between the combined or triple science pathways. Both combined and triple science will study all 3 disciplines, biology, chemistry and physics. But whilst combined science is worth 2 GCSEs, triple science is awarded as 3 separate GCSEs, 1 for each of those disciplines. Because of the greater amount of content, there are additional hours in the curriculum for students studying triple science. As such, if a student wants to study triple science in Year 10, they should choose it as one of their 3 free options in the final part of our options form. Once you've made your decisions on which humanities subjects you'll be studying and whether you're going on the combined or triple science pathway, it's now time to choose your 3 free options from the list of subjects here and in the options booklet. The first thing to note is that vocational and technical qualifications, BTECs and NCFEs, are GCSE equivalent subjects. However, these ones tend to have a greater focus on coursework and non-examined assessments, as opposed to traditional GCSEs that tend to have a greater emphasis on assessments at the end of Year 11. At this point, if you wanted to follow the triple science pathway, that should take one of your 3 choices. And if you wanted to study both geography and history, at this point you would choose the one that you haven't selected earlier on in the form. Whilst we always aim to give everybody the subjects that they've chosen, unfortunately this isn't always possible. By selecting 2 reserve options, you're telling us what your preference would be should we not be able to give you one of your first 3 choices. You may have heard of and be considering studying the English Baccalaureate. It's not a qualification in and of itself, but rather a specific selection of subjects that's generally well regarded by universities and further education providers. Whilst you've chosen your geography or history and your triple or combined science, the only thing that's remaining in order to study the English Baccalaureate is for one of your 3 choices to be a language, either French or Spanish. You don't have to study the English Baccalaureate, but it might be something that you want to consider. An important part of the options process is carefully considering the balance of subjects that you're choosing. There are combinations of subjects that will work well together and combinations of subjects that will be more challenging in Year 10 and Year 11. Choosing subjects with similar assessment systems such as business, child development and sport, where all of those subjects will have coursework to be completed within the same assessment window, might be more challenging during those periods of the year. Subjects such as art, design, technology and music have significant amounts of research and portfolio work that need to be completed at home, which could be a significant amount of work if you've chosen all three. Subjects such as sociology, history and RE have large amounts of content to learn, ready for the exams at the end of year 11. By choosing a combination of subjects with slightly different examination styles and slightly different content can make this a more manageable workload as we move through Key Stage 4. There are lots of things to consider when making your option choices. For each subject, think carefully about whether or not you enjoy it, you're interested in continuing to study it in Year 10 and Year 11, and you're eager to learn more. Is it a subject in which you're achieving well in class and the assessments that you're doing? Whilst it's something in the future, think carefully about what you'd like to do post-16 and whether or not the subject you're looking at is suitable for your future career and education plans. There are some common pitfalls to avoid as well when choosing your options. For example, don't choose a subject just because your friends have chosen it. You may not end up in the same class, and you're likely to be thinking of doing different things post-16. You might have a teacher you really like in Key Stage 3, but they may not be the teacher that you'd have in Key Stage 4 for that subject. Don't just pick a subject because you're struggling to think what else to choose. Spend some time talking to your teachers and your mentor and make a decision on a subject you think you would like to do. These are the key dates in the Year 9 options process. Our options booklets are already on our school website, and hopefully you joined us for our options evening on the 15th. The options form and this presentation were shared on the 16th of January and represent the official opening of the options process. The deadline for all options forms to be submitted is the 6th of February, but there are some key dates to be aware of between now and then. The 22nd of January is when our Year 9 APA reports will be shared. The information in these reports will give you an idea of how well you're achieving in your subjects and what you may or may not wish to take into Year 10. The 27th of January is our Year 9 Parents' Evening and your final opportunity to talk to your teachers about their subjects and whether or not they may be things you want to consider studying in Key Stage 4. If you have any questions about any part of our options process or need any support in completing our options form, don't hesitate to contact either myself or Mr. Thornton, the head of Year 9, and we'll be available to help you. Our options booklet has the individual contact information for all of our heads of department, so please feel free to get in contact with them if you have any subject related inquiries.